for the second half of this best two, and Goldie is coming in as their sub.
Ooh, interesting.
Who is, of course, officially on the roster. You can do this if you're new to Valor series. Yes, some of the teams have got subs. Not all of the teams, but some of the teams have got official subs on their rosters, and Goldie is subbing in for A-Man, who I kind of think of as sort of, like, he's previously kind of been captain, really, for Qlash, but A-Man's going to step aside, maybe the side coach. So, yeah, we have Goldie, as you can see, on the middle of the left of the screen there, in Qlash and the bans.
We speculated, do we see a Yorn ban? It might be that Qlash feel they can adjust something else, notably players here. Let's talk through the bans, though, as they come in. Zenial and Elsu from the sideline.
The funny thing is they keep banning out the Zenial, and part of that is they don't want the full-fledged Death Ball comp like we saw, right? They don't want the Sephra plus the Teamy plus the Zenial. They'll get rid of one.
Opposing them, it'll be again the Arum, again the Lindis. These were two bans that actually didn't make a whole bunch of sense to me the first time through.
It's going to be the same comp, it looks like, because the reason why you get rid of the Arum is so that you don't have anyone to help you dive, right? You don't want to stop them from you diving them. And I think that's going to have the same effect where they're going to want to go for the Sephra once more.
These are exactly the same bans for both sides.
Yeah. So I think we might see a replay, which is not good for the losing team on the right side.
You'd think Qlash had a little bit more of a vested interest. There's a shake-up. Sleepy team getting rid of the random Zephyrs. It was pretty effective. Teamy will be first draft, crashed into them.
Yeah, this is a mix-up. And first of all, Qlash takes it with a Teamy. They know the power of that. But now cycling through what Z wants to play here, and it is something to consider. Z actually was one of the better Wisps that we saw in the qualifiers, so I do like the comfort pick here. Even though a lot of people are saying Tal could be the superior hero, I like the Wisp.
There's something to be said for sticking to your guns, playing the characters to make you comfortable, but I'm worried as to what that's letting Qlash get away with. Because they've got Teamy, who you love as the best support in the meta, Florentino, who I think is one of the top 3 side laners right now, and Marja, who I also think is one of the top 3 side laners right now.
I would have to agree with you. What I'm curious about actually is who is going to play this Florentino. We have Sky, we have Goldie. And what do you think about that actually?
I'd say Goldie. They probably brought him in with the intention of picking him up, and then Sky goes back to an ADC as the final draft.
I just find it funny that if that's the case, then why did they pick that and then decide to flip it at the end? Is what I'm curious about. I think that Sky's going to play this Florentino.
Well, I'd be excited either way. Violet comes through as the jungle marksman, changing things. Slims as the jungle marksman, changing things up a bit. And Sleepy team pull out a L'Oreal. That's fascinating.
This is a bizarre draft thus far.
So, Omen, Wisp, crashed L'Oreal, and they need a jungler, and they've hovered 3 different melee frontline junglers. They settle on the most melee frontline of junglers with the Wonder Woman.
We've seen this from both sides, by the way. We've seen this from Random, we've seen this from 90.
Very interesting, though, that they ban out the Zephyrs in order to draft Wonder Woman, because they fill very similar roles.
They do, but it was pretty devastating to see Random on the Zephyrs last time, so now they get the solo melee jungler in this game, and they leave the marksman jungler on the other side. That is one side that I think that Sleepy has won in this draft.
What do you feel about seeing Slims and Alice?
You know how I feel about Slims, TJ.
He hates Slims.
Well, what do you feel about Slims, D2? I don't want TJ to tell us how much you hate him.
I really don't like Slims. I think there's way better marksman junglers. Those are my feelings about it. Don't at me.
And I kind of, or do, I kind of do think that there's something to be said for there are other characters that simply fill the role better. Slims is very, very, very good in the backline with the stuns, and that's kind of it. That's the one argument for Slims. He has a point-and-click stun, which is incredibly powerful. If you can land the long-range flying spear, then that's a really good initiation tool for your team. But that's kind of the only upside he has over, say, a Violet, a Fennec, or really anyone else.
Right, and if you're relying on a long-range stun to hit professional players, I don't think you're in a great spot. Violet, you can just hit from extremely far away. There's other heroes like just the Morin that you can go on that would do
Follow-up question, though. Matt did correctly ask about the Alice as well, and that's a really powerful duo. We saw that a couple times during qualifiers. You can get the Sunshine stun and then the Flying Spear. If you can land one of those stuns, you're basically guaranteed the longest 2-stun chain possible in the video game.
Well, I think we've seen Alice Lindis, which is a really powerful combo. I think they're going for Alice Poor Man's Lindis in the Slims, and perhaps going for that because, you know, you zoom around the map. I'm expecting Alice to go for Ring of the Fiend, one of the new support items. Zoom around the map, go for a 700 movement speed. It's ridiculous.
She moves so fast, it's actually kind of terrifying. I saw Alice run all the way from one side of the map to the other in maybe a second.
Maybe a
If that.
second.
It was disgusting. I know the Flash is in this game, but the Alice can move faster.
Are we going to see that, though?
I hope so.
They're probably going to build Ring of the Fiend, which provides you 50% movement speed. Let me just say that again. 50% movement speed is a lot, okay? And you have the friendship on top of that. You actually can reach the maximum movement speed in the game, which, by the way, 800 units per second, that's for you. And you, too.
Oh.
So I'm not the only one here, am I? That's actually quite a lot faster than I move, though, to be fair. So, okay, 800 units a second. All right,
8
so
meters a
we're going to see
second.
Alice tearing around this thing. Are we also going to see Qlash getting a 2-0 at the start of the Valor series?
I think this draft is a little bit weirder for Qlash. But if the results are the same as last game in terms of team coordination, in terms of maybe who's feeling a bit of the nerves about the fact that it is their first game of the Valor series, then I can't say it changes.
Right, and that's the biggest point here. I think that Qlash just look better. I don't like the Slims, but the rest of their draft looks great. They looked great in game 1. I think they're going to take game 2.
Sleepy, of course, they banned out. The only thing that was different in the bans is Sleepy banned out Florentino the first time. They didn't in the second ban.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that was different, which is why we now have Florentino rocking up. So, let's see what he can do. We are going into game. Qlash against Sleepy Team for the second game of the Valor Series 3.
And no early invades here. Both teams playing it relatively safe after that game 1 where the invades were so rough.
Thank goodness for Sleepy Team, because
Yeah.
it did not work out for them last game.
Nah, they got a little bit experimenty and it didn't work. So I'd like to kind of go back to that Alice thing we were talking about, because yeah, the Alice moves fast and that's terrifying. The reason that is terrifying is because it enables the double stun we were talking about, because that Alice can get within the sunshine range so fast.
Well, this is insane because now Sleepy's trying to go for that aggression once again. And I am going to be completely honest, TJ. Oh, just kidding. As we have engaged. Oh,
4 stuns.
damage from Z.
Not from who I thought. It's Z landing the stuns for Sleepy Team, and they've now got half HP onto 2 members, which means they get a free Abyssal Dragon.
TJ, I'm going to be completely honest. I missed this. And they have 2 supports on the side of Qlash.
Oh yeah,
That is a thing.
worth noting.
Worth noting.
Running
Sure.
Teamy Alice. I assume that's going to be side lane Teamy powering up as much as possible.
Well, Alice has already gone for the flashy boost for that CDR, but oh my god, look at this engage right here. Oh, the Sky trying to go 1v3.
Oh
Can't
my
get it.
goodness, he's got few. It's a 1-1 trade in a 1v3. That's enough.
1v4 actually by the end of it. That's just nuts. And you see the teamie this time going for the tie colors mark, building up to that.
So it won't be the extra speed boost Alice, because they've already spent the support items elsewhere.
Oh, level 4 crashed.
Good Metamorphosis. Zefta very low as the Sunshine comes through for the stun. The Being a Pro is active. Zefta and Goldie should get to safety, but O9 still on the chase. You cannot stop the Shark.
Z just had so much damage coming through, finally was able to take out Zefta here, and I don't even know what's going on. The big jump in from 90 and taking him out.
Bracelets for the kill onto Random. A major pickup here for Sleepy Team, and they'll chase Qlash underneath their tower as well. Oh my goodness, the lasso! Nice, you've got to stop. And he will be healed. The aquatic shield as well. Goldie should get this kill, but it's very close.
They barely are able to take him out here, but O9 in trouble again.
Will get to safety. Shock and awe from Z. Might have just given Zefta enough stuns to allow O9 out. This is a completely new Sleepy Team.
And Z is taking advantage by taking care of that tower. Z says, you got my back, I got yours. O9 gonna take down this tower. Another ult comes up from Fico though.
Fico using that smite for so much damage.
1v3, going
1v3, and it almost works. Now the Metamorphosis is there.
No way.
Does get the stun. Random so low. It's a second kill onto Random in the first 3 minutes of the game.
They are being as aggressive as they were last game, but here comes Sky on the Florentino.
Oh, trapped in the Death's Embrace. Few is trapped in with Sky, actually. And Sky goes in again and again. Knights return to this fight. Does decide it, though. It will be Sleepy Team giving one back over.
Finally, they're able to get one back. Excuse me, that was Sleepy Team getting them.
Right.
So they're going even farther ahead. So hard to tell because they're on the other side of the map, TJ.
Yeah, behind the tier
Yeah,
1 tower.
no big deal.
At 4 minutes, as you do.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do there, but you know, they're just holding on to this lead and just completely different from last game.
How have Sleepy Team gone from being badly behind to now dominating the map on the first 4 minutes?
Well, this Helter Skelter game has helped them because on the side of Qlash, with that double support, they've had to stay together the entire time, and Sleepy looks like they're taking advantage by picking them apart one by one.
9 will get very aggressive again. Qlash are unable to punish them as the bracelets stun 3.
I think that's a big deal, though, as they take the Abyssal Dragon, but this is going to get taken easily, and that's because, TJ, I think I figured it out. There's just no way to punish them because Zefta and Mowgli do not provide enough damage from those double support.
Yeah, the fact that they've got double support perhaps meaning that they're not able to get the damage on the tankier members who are getting into their jungle.
Yeah, and it's just making it so difficult here for Qlash. And I'm looking at Alice's build. What is she even building right now? She's going for major magic damage?
Damage, Alice?
Yes, it is. And I'm not really sure what she's going for. Obviously, with a Hizzy Fit on the Flashy Boot, she's going to have that much more often to her. But hyper farming random on the Slims has not worked out for them.
What about hyper farming the Alice as an idea just to put out there?
No, this is not your Saturday Scramble, TJ.
Okay, because I was playing a ranked game earlier, and we did have a Mage Alice that we were playing into.
Were you playing in a professional game?
Oh yeah, that was our Bronze 3 EU accounts.
Yeah.
No, I remember.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, not quite the same level.
Sage Golem up for grabs. Will get taken defensively by Random. Metamorphosis through as well. Zefta's caught out. Random as well. There's the shock and awe. Mowgli barely survives. And Sleepy Team win another fight. It's 6 minutes in, Daniel, and they've got the tier 2.
And they don't even care about the minions because they have the Metamorphosis, but oh my goodness, there has not been a better description of an ability as shock and awe at that moment because they shocked and they awed and they killed.
I don't know that you can turn this round as Qlash. How would you begin?
Well, they need to get Slims even more farm than he already is. Even though he has the most farm on the team, they need to continue that.
How do you do that, though, if your tier 2s are falling? How do you do that if you can't get access to your jungle? As Sky's in trouble. Florentino in 1v3, cannot make it happen. Does drop Knight low, but the rest of Qlash can't follow through.
Sleepy's doing a great job.
Oh, the shock and awe again! Z decimates the defenders. 3 kills on respawn for the next 15 seconds.
That is a massive shock and awe to their side. That gives them so much room to do whatever they want with the map, TJ. That said, though, there's not even objectives for them to take. This is just domination I was not expecting.
Z went ahead and picked the Wisp over the Telenas. We doubted them then. I do not doubt them anymore.
They are absolutely jumping all over them, and look at this gold score that they're piling up right now.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest gold leads I think I've ever seen in favor of Sleepy.
And it's just the kills, it's the Abyssal Dragons are taking every single objective available to them, and one more objective is available again in 20 seconds.
Qlash do finally get their wave clear. You said the major thing they need to focus is farming up Random. Is there a hope for them to do that? He's 0-4.
Well, 0-4 doesn't matter as long as you get gold, and he does have the most gold on this team. The problem is...
That's a bad thing.
he has less gold than all but one member on the side of Sleepy, so you're not going to be able to kill people by yourself if you're random. You're not hyper-farmed compared to the opposing team, TJ.
They're taking the right approach, though, sticking the teamie with Random, running them around in the jungle, what bits of it they can get access to. The problem is Sleepy Team think that's adorable, and they're going to focus down the Darkslayer in the meantime.
And the Darkslayer is perfect for them. If they had even both of the major objectives up in those epic monsters, they would actually choose the Darkslayer in this situation because look how many towers are left. They've been doing a great job of converting kills into objectives, TJ.
And now that they've got the Drake ready to summon, they'll be looking for their second high ground and possibly the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, they're really just pushing in now with that Drake, trying to go on this tower.
Zefta stunned. There's the Metamorphosis. That's 3. And Fico just dives in. Shock and awe as well. And they're melted behind the tower. The tower itself is gone. And it's a push up to the core. Random to play safe. Leaping back into spawn. They've lost Florentino. They've lost Sky. This core's gone. And Sleepy Team tie up the series at 1-1.
Qlash beaten into submission that game. That was the last thing I expected, but amazing play from Z. Amazing play from the aggressive side of Sleepy, and they prove us wrong in that game.
Huh.
Okay.
Huh.
Breathe. Sleepy Team decided that sleeping on the job is not really how you're going to manage to do the next 8 weeks of competitive play in Valor Series.
Late risers, you know, late risers.
Is that it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that was a mess. And Slims, yeah, you don't like Slims. I don't think they like Slims anymore.
I tried to say, you know, maybe they can take it anyway, but should have stuck with my guns. I don't like Slims. I don't like him at all.
Hold up. Hold up.
What?
Okay.
I just want to talk about side lane marksman.
Oh, good.
Because, to point it out, the team whose side lane marksman succeeded in lane now has a 100% win rate in the Valor series. They tried to run the old meta, the old Slims in jungle, into a Wisp. not traditionally the most powerful character, and we saw Z get so farmed.
Well, part of that is that is Z's bread and butter. Z loves the Wisp, and I love seeing go back to it and not going to Telenos. That was something that they could have gone with, but they end up going with the Wisp instead. Worked out beautifully for them.
So you don't think the ADC meta is dead yet, then?
No,
No,
I think...
alive and well, absolutely.
I don't think... After that performance, I think the ADC meta, the power farming a marksman in bot lane, is the meta to go with, because seeing the amount of damage that could be brought to bear against tower defenders by that Wisp was genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, so that was something that Qlash were definitely not expecting there. Sleepy team, who didn't roll over in that first game, but were very much on the back foot throughout the whole game there. Qlash were basically locked down in their base. The tier 2s were falling, and Qlash, like you were saying, you can't go and get any gold if you can't actually go outside.
We kind of were thinking about that double support pick. We thought maybe they had something up their sleeve. I think it was almost the opposite. Qlash thought, okay, this is a game where we can mess around, you know, get a feel for maybe this new meta we're trying, figure out if double support's something we can run in Valor. No, you do not get any free games like that.
And we're seeing the replays right now here. One thing I want to point out is all of Sleepy's aggression didn't work in the first game at all, but worked amazingly in the second game, and I love the experimentation, love getting more aggressive.
I feel like 0 being on an engaged character like the Qlash made a major difference, because how many times was that Metamorphosis stun critical to their success?
Right, and I don't think that Qlash is being properly valued in a lot of regions, because every time you see him play, he just does so amazingly on him.
Yeah. We could also see Fico succeeding much more on the Sephora, being able to dive in and find those homing water spirits to finish off kills, start kills.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just so devastating. The ability to use that shotgun off from such a far distance made it so much easier, so much damage was coming out.
Watch this shotgun all. Watch how quickly Zefta just melts.
Well, did have the being a bro, but just had to run away right afterward.
And this is a 50% gold lead here. And that's not like 1 minute in where one team's got 1 and the other team's got 1 and a bit. That was 10K, I think we just saw on the screen.
That was a 9-minute game.
Yeah.
I'm in awe. Yeah.
Let's remember that's a 9-minute game for a team who just lost the other half of this best of 2. So it's not like they won the first one and then they just snowballed the team out for the second one because they've got them figured out. They came back against a team who beat them earlier and demolished them.
I'd like to highlight Fico on the Lindis, or the L'Oreal, sorry. Finished that game with 40% of the team's damage. A team that also featured Z going insane on the Wisp. 40% of the team's damage came from Fico.
All right, well, we have to start with the star player of the series. I'm not even sure who to pick because of the 1-1 tie. I think I have to go with Sky here. He still did second damage on this side. Tried to take on 1v4. He did his best. I think I have to go with Sky once more here.
Sky is your star player of this best of 2.
It's tough. There's 3, maybe 4 players that I could pick here. Z is also on that level. But I gotta go with Sky.
But Sky got, fun fact, almost double the kills of the rest of his team combined.
He did have 1 of their 2. So there is that.
What? 1 out of 2 is almost double of the rest of the 1
math is not his strong point.
Look, it's the same as the rest of his team combined.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Words and math are difficult sometimes.
No. We've got this covered. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So that